Hello everyone. I welcome you to the second day of Data Fest. And today we are going to listen to a very interesting topic, and it comes from the background of cloud. And I understand those who are studying maybe computer engineering or those who are going for, let's say, um, maybe they are doing graduation, BCA, BCS, ME, MTech, or BE, BTech. So all of them must be aware that how important is cloud technology today, and all the applications, all the softwares which we make use of today, they are almost 100% cloud based because the kind of data which gets stored. So local storage is not that much big enough to basically handle, so therefore, almost everyone is making use of cloud today. And in cloud also, we have different options. So one specific cloud we are going to explore, and that is Microsoft's Azure. So today we have Dr. Sachin Saxena with us, and he is a senior data analyst at Teleperformance Portugal, and he's having a strong background of machine learning and data science. He has been working with multiple tools, and he works with a data driven approach. He gives such solutions. So I would directly like to invite, first of all, thanks Dr. Sachin Saxena for accepting the invite. And I would like to directly invite him so that he can start this session. And I'm just handing over it to Dr. Sachin Saxena. Thank you very much, sir. Please continue.
Thank you, Kushal. Thank you for having me here. And I'm going to share my screen if it is. Can you see my screen here?
Yes, yes, it's visible.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Good morning. This is Sachin Saxena. Currently, I'm working at Teleperformance as senior data scientist, and I'm going to explain. I'm going to illustrate more concept regarding Azure Data Engineering, from learning to earning. Here, I'll be illustrating three different tools. First and foremost, I'll give the background of these tools. What kind of opportunity do we have? What kind of salary package do we have in Azure Data Engineering? What are the different beneficials available in data engineering? Then I'll move to Azure Data Factory and PySpark as well. That would be hands-on upcoming. Okay, so first let's see what is Azure Data Engineering. We have seen so many big data is available on LinkedIn, so many big data is available on X, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram. Everywhere we are uploading our social images, content. So this is creating TBs and GBs data a day by handling. So this is a big challenge for companies, for IT companies, to handle such data in either way. So this is like, this market is big for each and every company, each and every domain, not only in IT companies but all the domains. Either it is sales, either it is marketing, either it is uh, hospitality or hospital or management or any medical field. So they all are looking this Azure platform. So Azure Data Engineering involves Microsoft Azure Cloud Services to design, build, and manage data pipelines and storage solutions for various data pre-processing needs, including analytics, machine learning, and real-time applications. Here you can see several other architectures are also available. Performance, of course, speed is the big issue these days. So everyone is talking about speed and machine learning. If you want to predict anything from the scratch, so in earlier lectures, you in earlier sessions or in earlier study or any courses, you have learned about different tools, but how to deploy in local machine. Of course, you will be having challenge for speed, you will be having a challenge for security, you will be having a big challenge for scalability, cost. So this Azure cloud is going to decrease or going to diminish these factors eventually. This is one of the reason that IT companies and big giant industries are looking for this technology. Before moving towards this career, if you want to make career in this field or making out of the box functionality in this field, you must know few tools. For example, Azure Data Factory, you must learn. These are all 15 to 1 month tools. You must explore these tools from the scratch. So Azure Streaming Analytics for handling big data in a single shot. For example, if you have 1 TB data, so your local machine would be failed. If you have 2 TB or 2 GB data set to process, your local system would be failed. Servers might be failed. But using these tools, they are much capable. They have so much capacity to deal with uh, unstructured data set, structured data set, or we have the Azure Data Lake storage as well. We have Azure MariaDB, we have Azure Postgre database, Azure SQL database, Azure Databricks. These are very giant names in the field of Azure data engineering. So I would suggest that just go through these tools one by one and explore what are the ingredients there in these terms. Then only try to look for these jobs. Now comes on certifications. Here we have so many certifications available in Azure Data Engineering. For example, DP200 for basic one. Data engineering is for associate people. For developers, we have data fundamentals. For DP certification exam, we have DP201. But again, is it the are these certification required to get a job in any company? Answer is no. Companies are looking for real hands-on practice, real project knowledge, your deep dive knowledge in any field, in any project which you are creating on data engineering, not certification. That's a secondary. If you have, that's okay. If you do not have, means they are not emphasized on certification first and foremost, because people may have certification in their CV, but they must not have practical knowledge in their domain, in their field. This is the only reason companies are looking for pure hands-on eventually. So just look at the capstone every time. When you have learned certain tools, when you have tried to earn certification, if you are not even getting the certification, then you are looking for job. And if you are at certain stages, so what would be the salary package? That's question mark. That's the next question. So here is the some basic glimpse regarding this field. For example, Azure Data Engineering salary in India, as per Glassdoor company, companies are offering in between 4 lakh to 7 LPA for freshers. And it also depends your technology, what kind of technology do you have, what kind of tools do you have, which I discuss in PPT number 2. What kind of deep dive knowledge do you have, what kind of capstone project you have developed in your learning phase. There are several other factors involved in this salary package. Again, this salary package may increase because people need data engineering people at any cost. Once you have achieved this salary package, if you are having any domain knowledge like from Azure Data and Engineering or GCP or any other cloud basic projects you have done in your internship, in your courses, in your graduation level, you can go with this experience, 4 to 6 years experience. You may achieve 7 to 13 LPA package initially, because they are dealing with this big data, and this is really big challenge for them. Okay, so this is again a very updated data, updated on 4 November, but of course if you talk about 2025, this would be very high package at all. Okay, now for example, what kind of roles would I be offered when I apply in any IT company or in any not I won't say, don't think this these tools are related to computer science engineering or IT field. No, every domain, as I said, the sales companies or either any McDonald company or any Pizza Hut company or any medicine manufacturing companies are there. They all are looking for cloud computing platform because they are moving from on premises to virtual environment. So virtual environment is cloud computing here. On premises is your local system, local server, which is the conventional method several companies are using for a very long time. But this virtual companies are having so many advantages. They don't have to establish their infrastructure and all. So they are looking for several post there in their firms. What kind of post? For example, you may apply for cloud consultant, you may apply for DevOps cloud engineer, you may apply for data science engineer. They are all independent tools, they are all independent platforms, all independent job roles. They are not they are helping each other inside company but not stick to one domain. You can apply for cloud reliability engineer, cloud infrastructure engineer, or cloud security engineer, or cloud architect. You can choose either post before applying this company. Okay, there are several topics involved in RDD. You just go through these topics. For example, what is RDD, Resilience Distributed Data Set, which is the core concept of this data science or Azure Data Engineering. So, for example, previously we had Python, but now we have switched to Apache Spark. So maybe you may have basic knowledge of Python. That would be very helpful here. Maybe you have a basic knowledge of C, C++, Java in past from past. So this Apache Spark would be top on knowledge of this tool of this Python knowledge. So if you have a knowledge of SQL, so that would be our top of knowledge. So this SQL, or if you may have knowledge of Python, or you may have knowledge of data science, everything will be used here. This is They are not going to teach you from the scratch. You are not going to learn anything from the scratch. If you have knowledge of machine learning, ML, in case you are having of knowledge of deep learning, in case you are having of knowledge of neural network or natural language processing, you have done any internship from any IT company or accomplished any course from any resources, that would be useful here at any cost. That's the point here. Don't think it's a new technology. No, it's just top up of your earlier knowledge as well. So these are several partitions. They are going to define your database in a different partition. I'm not going to explain there, but you will have to talk about these technology as well. Okay, so let's see. I'll show this later on. Let's explain this. Let's display this tool which is from Azure Cloud, how this Azure Cloud is practically. So here you can see this is Azure Cloud. I'll be using my credential for first year. For first year, if you will use this portal as your portal, so they will offer you $200 free of cost. So this amount is freely available in this portal. You can use this for your services, for your resources, in order to create these resources and made familiar yourself with these resources. For example, you are supposed to create resource groups, you are creating any app here, you are creating any load balances or any virtual machines here or any Cosmo DB or SQL database. This is all paid, but Azure is offering $200 initially to practice, for knowledge only, for learning purpose only. If you are going to create any storage account here, so that would be freely available. So let me show how to create this storage account first, then I'll show how to use this cluster, how to use this data breaks and all. Okay, so I'm going to search here resource group. In this resource group, I'll keep all my resources. So you can see this resources group is already available there. So I can create a new resource group. So this is my subscription. The subscription is as equal as you have your Netflix subscription, all right, or you have your Amazon Prime subscription. So this is same as, so in Netflix they are updating web series, they are updating movies, they are updating their channels, songs. In a similar way, in this Azure portal they are updating their services day by day. In backend they are updating their technologies day by day. Okay, so once you have these subscriptions, you can go with this name and going to assign the resource group. For example, I'm going to assign RG, such an RG, and giving some number which is unique anyhow. I'm going to create this region. So this region, I'm going to select East US, review and create. Can you see on the right top? I can see this would be green flag for my resource group. Also, I would be depicting this name here. This would be first and foremost step. So I can see this name would be here. Can you see this Sachin RG123 is available here. Now inside this resource, I can create resources. So it's a bit confusing terms. What is resource group? What is resource? So for example, I'm having a coffee group or people group inside this, or a man group. So inside this man group or player group, so inside this player group I'll have each player. One player will be my batsman, one player would be my bowler, one player would be my fielder, one player would be my shorthand, left handy. In a similar way, in this resource group, we will have several resources as well. Okay. Once I have created this resource group, I can go with this home again and I can search for Azure Data Bricks. Here you can see this data bricks is available here. I'm just creating a new Databricks. So I can create a new Databricks instance in this portal. So in a similar way, I can select my resource group because this is a single resource. So I'm going to select my resource group, which I created earlier, just now before. So I'm going to select this Sachin RG123, which is resource group. And inside this, I'll have to create a workspace name. For example, workspace Sachin, and this is my region, and this is my role based and networking, keeping all the settings unchanged. Eventually I'm going to create this resource group. Can you see this validation is succeed, which means there is no error in my portal and no error found in this step. Let's create it and then you can ready to go inside. Once I have created it, this portal looks like this. Can you see? This portal, Databricks portal is this. Right now I'm inside Databricks. Here I can see several. There are three sections on the left pane inside this Databricks. First section is this basic one. What kind of catalog? What kind of compute resources do I have? What kind of marketplace do I have? What kind of recent resources, workspaces, run sheets are available here. Second one is SQL platform, which is entirely dedicated for SQL only. Here I can say SQL editor, here I can say queries, dashboards, alerts, so many other things are there. Third one is data engineering, related to data engineering and related to other tools. For example, this is job runs, data ingested pipeline, automatic refreshing my file at certain interval. I can go with machine learning eventually for several experiments, features, and models as well. Okay, let's go one by one. This tool is having For example, first I need to upload a data. So I can click on this add, go with this add option, scroll down, upload file to DBS Databricks. Here you will find draw file to upload. So I can see where is the file. So for example, I'm going to upload this JPG file. So conceptually, I would have uploaded any CSV file. So, but I'm going to create this JPG file here. Okay. So you can see this file is just uploaded here. Or if you want to create this table, you can see this is going to create a notebook directly. This first facility is given here. Okay, so here I can see this JPG file is there, automatically assigning my address there, automatically file type, automatically several other metadata involved here. This is core PySpark coding. But before running this code, you need to provide some backend processing unit. So what is best backend processing unit? That is the compute resources here. For example, if you have this laptop, this machine, but this machine is not having that RAM, so of course you cannot do anything. This machine is not having that CPU, so you cannot do anything. You cannot run your Python program, you cannot run your movies, you cannot run your videos, you cannot run your like YouTube videos or internet, you cannot check Gmail, you cannot run your internet basically. So this is all prerequisite tools that compute resources you need to add here. Let's see what are the different parameters here in compute resources. So I'm inside a compute resources which I created already because it's a time taking process. Here you can see, for example, I'm going to create. Can you see this green signal is there, which means this cluster or this compute resources in running condition. It's not. It's in stop. It if it is in running condition, which means my billing will be there. It's going to cost something. How it is going to cost? How would you define this cost? This cost is defined by this dbu. What is this dbu? For this is very layman or noob kind of interview question, that what is dbu in Databricks, in Azure Data Engineering. So dbu stands for Databricks unit. So this unit is defined by several other factors as well. For example, what kind of policy you are using, what kind of access mode you are using, what kind of runtime version you are using, what kind of node tab type I'm going to use using, what kind of server I'm going to using. So collectively, it's giving this DBU, and this is going to charge on the basis of this DBU. All right. Now, for example, I'm going back to my compute portal. I'm going to create a compute from the scratch. Let's see what kind of compute resources and how you can create this compute resource. Here I can see this policy is there. For example, I do not want to use this compute to any other in my company. In my colleague, any other colleague cannot use this resource. So what I'll use personal compute. Okay, or I want to share these resources with others as well. For example, my other company people are using these resources, other colleagues are using these resources, so I can use this shared compute as well. Currently I'm going to use this current unrestricted resource, and single mode is there. What is single mode? So in big data, they divide every task into smaller ones. So what happens here? This is the task one, this is the task two, and these tasks are actually run by different uh, uh, workers. So these workers are actually defined in multi-node. Here can you see these minimum workers are there and maximum workers are there. So can you see this is 2 to 8 available workers are there in order to process these tasks parallelly. So I can use these as many as tasks, so that I can use this standard worker to run this task. So what would be the benefit when I run this task concurrently? For example, if I take 9 seconds to run a task using one processor, so when I'm using three processing unit, three processors, so it will take 3 seconds only for three processors. Okay, this is the benefit, means I'm going to divide my task by t by 3, and you can reduce your time as well using this cluster time as well. So I'm going to use single code and going to define my node type. You can see there are so many different node types: general purpose SDD, memory optimized, your standard DV for your machine learning, for your compute resources, GPU processor. So many options are available depending upon your project size and your data size as well. Now I can create, and then here you can see it's already created. Now, once I created this part, I can create a new notebook. You can see here. Inside this notebook, I can see this, and on the top of this, this is selecting my language. So currently, this portal is supporting three languages: SQL, Scala, and Python, and R language. Four languages are there. Originally, this is written in Scala. Spark is written in Scala, but just giving API of these three languages, Python, SQL, R, I can use these language also. So if you have heard about PySpark, so this PySpark is playing very important role here. What is the PySpark? This is the Python knowledge you do have plus Spark. So PySpark is nothing new. Your basic knowledge of Python plus Spark concept, collectively known as PySpark, which we will use here in this workspace. Okay. Now here you can see this Spark is there. For example, I'm going to write print. Inside this print, I'm going to write NT technologies. Let's run this cell. Can you see it's running using my compute resources, not my personal laptop CPU, for not my personal RAM or something. It's using their resources, their speed, their time. Can you see it's a printed NT technology is there? But what will happen here? If you do not have this cluster, certainly it will throw an error on the screen. It won't get executed. Why? Because you have not attached this workspace with any certain cluster. Now I'm going to add this code. For example, I'm going to add a new code here. This time I'm going to run select 5 plus 6. So this is what this is. Can you see? The moment I just wrote select type, it just converted into SQL. This is called magic command in this portal. So let's change this here. For example, this is data engineering post, and then I can see this is just writing select 5 plus 6, and this is magic command converting my code from Python to SQL eventually. Can you see? This is just invoking my Spark jobs, and output is 11 because I'm going to use my cluster based upon single unit. Okay, so this is a quick review of Databricks, quick review of computer resources, quick review of your Azure portal and other resource group also. Do not forget to delete everything once you have practiced here everything. So what's the process of deleting resources? Just go back here. Allow me to any question till here. If you have any question, you can write in
Yeah,
chat box.
yeah, I think it is going good so far. Yeah, it's good so far. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sure you all people are keen to get started now with Azure Data Engineering, and again I'm going to remark and underline this statement once more, that do not forget to delete your resource code, otherwise it's going to bill a lot. Of course, if you are using your free tier, so it's not, if it's going to use your $200, the $200 is freely available in your portal. But in case you are using pay as you go, so certainly pay as you go, and you leave this resource group as it is, so this is, they are going to pay charge a lot even you are not using these resources, but you are occupying these resources. This is the only reason you must have practice to delete every resources every time. So I'm going to delete confirmation, and once I delete it, everything will be deleted. To you can terminate this resource cluster. You can restart this cluster also. If you want to delete permanently forever, you can delete it here. If you want to delete your resource compute resources also, you can delete it here. Okay, so meanwhile it's going to delete, so I can see other resources are also there. For example, my resource groups are there. So this resource group is 123 which I created. I'm also deleting this resource group. Delete resource group, copy this one, delete, delete. Let's check the resource group also. Okay, can you see this error? Why? Because I have deleted from the scratch, from the root label. I have deleted this resource, and the existing. This is not existing for my Azure portal. This is the reason it's throwing this error. Then you do not have this portal and everything. So I can close this tool. If I refresh this again, I perceive this will also throw an error. Can you see this is also showing wrong URL? Why? Because I have deleted from my Azure portal. Now I'm going to close this tab also. I'm going to close this also. Can you see this is just deleted here? Okay. So this was all from my side, and here I am going to revise this again. Here you can see what we have done earlier. So in this session, we have discussed what is the Azure Data Engineering. They are involved in various architecture, performance, machine learning. Using this Azure Data Factory, Azure Data Portal, they would be helpful. For these tools, you would have certainly better opportunities in IT companies. And for these certification, they are add-on only. Don't think that these are all milestone or these are compulsory to get a job. They are just several stars on your shoulders that you must achieve. But again, this is not necessary or not required anywhere. Again, these are salary packages for several domains, and there several companies are looking for these concepts and revise and go through these trends. So thank you for your time and attention. We hope this presentation has provided valuable insights into the importance of employee training and development programs. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Dr. Sachinji. You gave a insightful session, and I would like to ask one question. That as a fresher, because the most of the struggle lies with freshers to start up with the career. So, how should they plan? Like, if they want to get into maybe like should they plan some Azure specific tool and technology stack, or how should they basically plan if they want to get into this technology?
So first and foremost, they must learn Python. That's very layman kind of language. Second one is the SQL, and third they should learn for Power BI. If they do not have any background of coding or any background of computer science, so these three domains, these three tools are prerequisite. Then try to then jump to Azure Data Factory, then jump to Azure Databricks. They are all not more than 15 days, 15 days to 30 days. My manager says, my in my company, my manager says, people learn, people grow. So we have KT sessions also. What is KT session? Knowledge transfer sessions. If any employee in our company as well, they do not have any knowledge, so people share their knowledge. People train them. People train them for Azure SQL database. The same SQL which was using in Microsoft SSMS, the same coding we are using in Azure SQL database. Then they can jump to streaming analytics and they can jump to Synapse analytics. That is more than enough. That
Okay,
is
okay.
so.
Hmm.
This will walk you through the entire interview sessions and just go through some interview question answer and preparation and so on. That's it. That's it. That's more than enough.
Okay, and anything specific on like to hunt the first job? Because once they have acquired these skills, again they face challenge that where to apply, how to apply. So can you throw some light probably on portals or companies where basically it can be done?
Yeah, so first is LinkedIn or the jobs like Naukri jobs is there, and then Times job is also here. So if anyone is immediate joiner, so
Mhm,
for this the
mhm.
market is huge. Opportunities
Okay.
are a lot. There are a lot of opportunities. So as we discussed, as of now, that market is booming for these tools. Uh, they must have this one ATS ready CV application tracking system. ATS CV, with this ATS CV, they must go through this one and kindly do include capstone project, realistic project, so that they can illustrate more about this project because company are more interested in projects where you have deployed these projects, where you have deployed these tools. So before applying on the LinkedIn or jobs portal or Times Job, do display your projects on LinkedIn as well, people. Because for my story, I got a job in GAPS through a person on LinkedIn as well. She recommended me on LinkedIn. So that was my
Okay.
first job after 12 years of teaching. So I was in teaching professor in education field for last 12 years. So after 12 years I just displayed few projects on LinkedIn and display some. So one ma'am was there, she was in GAPS technology, so she recommended there. Again my second job, again teleperformance, one sir was there. He recommended me in the teleperformance, and all the four technical process was there, and then I get in job there. So LinkedIn is best practice. Just display your projects, illustrate your capstone projects there. People will certainly approach you.
Great, great. And I really thank and appreciate that I meet so many people who are into education field and they actually want to get into industry, but because they have invested so much of maybe 7 plus, 8 plus years in education, so they find it difficult. So I think you are an example for all of them that how basically transition can happen. So it's possible. So thanks a lot, Dr. Sachin ji, and I really appreciate, and I hope that. All the participants who are watching it and who will be watching it must enjoy this particular session and at least create an account on Microsoft Azure portal and get started with the free services which are there. So that's the minimum thing how you can start with. And if you find it interesting, if you find it useful for yourself, then please do continue learning ahead. Thank you very much, sir, and thank you all the audiences. Thank you.